Welcome to Legacy Lounge, the podcast where you'll discover how to lead with purpose and build a legacy that matters. So if you're ready to step into your full potential, show up authentically for yourself and others, and create a lasting impact on the world, you're in the right place. Let's begin. Today, we are talking about something that might make you a little bit uncomfortable. Boundaries. But not just any boundaries. We are talking about boundaries and using them as your secret weapon for business growth. Let me take you back to an example from my retail days. Picture this. I'm running a massive district, saying yes to everything and everyone pretty much all the time. Early morning calls? Yes. Late night emergencies? Yes. Weekend check-ins? Yes, and yes, and yes. I really thought I was being a great leader. Turns out I was being a terrible strategist. Here is the truth bomb that changed a lot of how I view boundaries. I was in a meeting with my mentor, absolutely exhausted, when she looked at me and she said, "Your constant availability is actually hurting your business." And I nearly spit out my coffee on the Zoom call. She continued with, "Every time that you say yes to something that is not strategic, you're also saying no to something that could be." That hit me like a ton of bricks, because here's what I realized. My yes to answering emails at midnight was a no to strategic planning. My yes to every single meeting was a no to spending more time one-on-one with my team to focus on their individual development. My yes to constant firefighting was a no to firefighting prevention. So I did something pretty cool. I started treating my boundaries like I do with as much seriousness as the P&L statement that we all have. Stay with me here. I promise this gets good. I created a boundary budget for myself. And just like every business with their financial budgets, I made a budget for my time, for my energy, and for my attention. And here's how it works. Strategic priorities, 60%. Team development, 25%. Innovation and learning, 10%. Buffer for flexibility, 5%. And just like a financial budget, when something comes up, I ask myself, what am I willing to cut to make room for whatever it is? Cha-ching! The results? Oh my gosh, you're going to love this. Team performance overall increased by over 25% when we were already at a stable and green standpoint from an operational metrics. That means my team that was already delivering decided it's time to tighten up and deliver even a little more. The strategic initiatives that were not only completed on time, they were juicy and bulletproof because the time was protected enough to be super strategic with different perspectives, thinking through how to navigate challenges, and everything connected through the dots. My team, super engaged. And from an overall employee satisfaction standpoint, if you will, was through the roof. And my personal favorite, I actually started to enjoy my life again. My life personally and my job. But let's get real for a minute. Setting boundaries isn't just about saying no. It is about being strategic with your yes. It's about understanding that your energy, your attention, your time, those are your most valuable business assets, especially when you are a multi-unit leader. So I'm going to walk through my boundary setting framework. Is this aligned with my strategic priorities? Yes or no? Am I the best person for this? Yes or no? What is the cost of saying yes? Write it down or say it out loud to yourself. What's the opportunity cost of saying no? What else could I do with the same amount of time? Does this serve my long-term vision? Now, I know what some of you are probably thinking right now. Brin'na, people are going to get so mad at me. I can't do that. I can't say no. Short answer, they might get mad. The long answer is some people will get upset, but just accept that before entering with boundaries. When you start setting boundaries, those are the people who benefit from your very lack of having them to begin with. So I want to share something personal before we wrap this episode up. The first time I said no to a weekend emergency meeting, I felt physically ill. But you know what happened? My team figured it out themselves. And they were so proud of their solution. And I was proud of them for working together. That's when I realized that my lack of boundaries wasn't just hurting me, it was also stunting the growth of my team. So here's your challenge for the week. Create your own boundary budget. Look at where your time and your energy are going and ask yourself, is this distribution serving my strategic goals? Then pick one boundary to set this week. Just one. Make it small, make it clear, make it consistent. Remember, your boundaries aren't barriers to success, but they are the foundation of it. Every great business strategy starts with knowing what you're not going to do. Until next time, keep those boundaries strong and your strategy stronger, all through leading with purpose. That's it for this episode of Legacy Lounge, a podcast dedicated to empowering you to lead with purpose. Remember, leadership begins with you. When you're connected to your values, strengths, and authentic self, you show up powerfully for your team, businesses, and everyone you lead. To authentically lead others, you must first lead yourself. I challenge you to consider, how are you investing in your personal growth to create a legacy that you envision? Thank you for joining me in the Legacy Lounge. If this episode sparked any thoughts or inspired action, I'd love to hear from you. I'm your host, Brin'na Rollins-Williams. Connect with me on LinkedIn or other socials, and let's continue the conversation. Remember, your legacy is built one intentional step at a time.